Hey, Rock, he's in the wall. Keep up the good work, baby.
Stomped out by the... Get the kid off it. Where's the line?
Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we've got your WrestleMania Night 2 predictions. Our Night 1 predictions are available right now. They dropped yesterday. The night before, we did our Raw recap. So WrestleMania week is in full swing, which also means the WrestleMania Predictions Challenge is in full swing. So we're going to be giving you our predictions for night 2. We've already done night 1, and maybe this will help inform the people out there doing the predictions challenge, which you can participate in right now. The form is open for channel members and patrons. So all you got to do is click join right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, or go to patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Click on the Friendo Club setup. Either way you do it, it's $5 a month. It's a great way to help support Going In Raw, and you get access to our bonus episodes and our question threads. And the winner of the Friendo Mania Predictions Challenge will get some version of this championship title right here on your screen. I received word yesterday, today as we film this, but yesterday as we upload it.
Yeah.
That the title is, I'm going to be getting pictures and videos, which ideally I'll have access to, and I'll give you guys an update tomorrow on the news AEW recap. I don't know what this thing is going to look like, how it's going to be. He claims that I'm going to like it, so I don't know. I'm not even sure what this guy's name is, but my guy in Pakistan thinks that I'm going to like it.
Well, let's hope that's the case.
I hope so.
Because if you like it, I don't know how anybody could dislike it.
Right? If I'm happy with it, that means they did a killer job, taking this title from its, Photoshopped / WWE 2K26 belt creation thing, and they have interpreted it, and now it's going to be physical in 3 dimensions.
Manifest. Yes.
Made manifest. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
So
yes, if you want to take part in the Predictions Challenge, Steve told you how to sign up. If you're not already a member of the Friendo Club setup, I'm going to post the form again today up on YouTube and Patreon. I'm going to do it again Friday as well after SmackDown. So people have every opportunity. If they want to participate, they can.
Absolutely. All right.
Let's get after it. Night 2, Steve.
Night 2.
Of course, is kicking off with Femi taking on Brock Lesnar. Who do you got?
Wow. I'm looking at your confidence points on this one. Oof, boy. I've got Femi with 1 confidence point. That is my heart speaking, not my head. If I went with my head, which I might very well do for the predictions challenge, I will go 1 on Brock Lesnar because I don't have faith that WWE is going to do what they should do. Oba up. But for my heart, because I can't bring myself to say Brock Lesnar wins, I'm going to say Oba. You know what I plan to do and I need to do between now and Mania? My little tirade about the goodwill that WWE would engender by having Oba win. I'm going to make that into a short. I'm going to put it on our Twitter. I rarely use our Twitter, but I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put it everywhere. And maybe Paul will see it.
Campaign going there, huh?
And he'll understand. Is like, you know what, Steve, I think this Steve guy's got a good point. Maybe terrorizing will look at that and be convinced that Oba up is the only way to go, but I'm not convinced that he is. So I got Oba with 1, and I kind of feel like it's Brock with 1.
Maybe this is a pick with my heart and not my head.
I know it is because I'm looking at your confidence points right now.
I said what I was going to do on our Raw recap last night, and we don't need to go. We had a lengthy conversation about this on our Raw recap. I think we talked 10, 12 minutes about why it should be Oba up. And I understand your reservations. I get it. Between how WWE historically has positioned Brock, how Brock just kind of does what Brock wants to do. And, a lot of my hopes about this match, and they are hopes, is that Brock has bought in to the idea of putting Oba over and over huge. And because we've seen him already do that in terms of every time they have an altercation, Oba stands tall, and Brock is selling the dominance of Femi. And here's the thing. I don't put a whole lot of stock in that in terms of go-home math, because the story is, if the story is about establishing Oba as the new dominant force in WWE, he should be a dominant force. Full stop. But if Brock is bought in at the early stage, hopefully that means he's bought into the whole thing. And you can use this as the jumping off point to tell the story of his retirement over the summer when he loses to Gunther. And it's not like, oh, I can't keep up anymore. It's more like, oh man, the aura that I had as being this dominant force, people don't respect it like they used to. You know, so it's not like he can't go. It's just, well, my time has come and gone in this respect. There's a new dominant force in WWE. His name is Oba Femi. It would be foolish of WWE, absolutely foolish of WWE, to have Brock win this match. That doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence subjectively that they're going to follow through on this and have Oba win. But everything about this story, including Oba's promo on Raw this week, should lead to a definitive, dominant victory for Oba Femi. I got Oba up 6 confidence points, max confidence for night 2 here.
All right. I hope you're right.
I'm a 2-time predictions champion, Steve.
Okay. Great. You didn't get there by doing this. I tell you that. As an observer of your 2-time championship, you didn't get there by doing this. That's for sure.
But I did, to a certain respect, trust in my gut. Didn't overthink things.
I mean, every time you lose, you're like, I should have done the other.
No, every time I lose, it's because I didn't trust my gut and I overthink things.
Whatever. I can already see how this match is going to play out. It's going to be Oba dominates Brock. Brock squeaks out a win and then is like, oh, broken down. And he shakes Oba's hand and lifts up his arm because he barely survived Oba Femi. That in their minds is an Oba Femi win without being an Oba Femi win. I could see you. It's one of those things you could just see it. You could just see how they're going to do that. I hope I'm wrong. But I can just see it in my head.
For the final predictions, I'm still picking Oba. There's no universe where I'm picking Brock to win this. But to leave open the possibility that they might do the double count out thing because they cause so much destruction, I'll probably end up lowering my confidence point value in the end.
All right.
But if there is a winner for this match, it must be Oba Femi. Next up, we got this ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship right now. The Intercontinental Champion, the hardcore guy from TNA. It's Penta. It's another situation where it's like, I don't see how Penta loses this. Pretty soon, Devon Evans be regularly contending for championships. Mid-card, probably world titles too. But Rusev is barely on TV.
Oh, come on, dude. On Raw, he was doling out Machka kicks to everybody.
Which makes it clear he's not winning.
Oh, okay.
Dragon Lee rarely wins. I know he won the tag match last night, but he rarely wins. JD, someone else who's a really good wrestler, rarely wins. Ray was just added to this match. He was supposed to have a match against Gunther. So I got Penta with 5. Penta's super popular. He's walking out of this match still champion. This is the match he wanted. He's like, I want this match. And now he's going to prove why he wants this match, because he's going to win.
Because he said, what did he say? His kingdom is up on top of the ladder? Something like that? What a great line if it was that. I'm going to go on a limb on this one just for fun's sake. I'm going to put Ray with 2 confidence points. Yes, he was just added to this match, which probably means he has no chance of winning it. That being said, Dom Mysterio continually saying the Intercontinental Championship is his. The story, the better story coming out of this match is Rey Mysterio as the Intercontinental Champion, and that just absolutely getting under Dom's skin. I think there's a lot of really fun stuff they can do with that. If they want to put that IC title back on Dom, they can go that route with Dom beating Rey for it. And then maybe that can lead to whatever feud they eventually get to where Rey gets retired. So, do I see it happening? No, that's why I have like very little confidence points on it. But I think it'd make for a hell of a story if Rey won that thing. And so, yeah, I've got 2 confidence points on Rey Mysterio. My main hope is that he brings his gray sweatpants to that match as well, because that'd be hilarious.
It'd be cool if he wore the sweatpants but had a matching mask.
Yeah.
Like a fleece.
Right.
The mask is made of fleece. Obviously, it was still the intricate design.
Sweating
and stuff.
bullets under that thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be horrible.
That'd be fun.
Okay, so like, I get what you said earlier in terms of like there really isn't a case for anybody else. I could see a case for Javon.
No, I didn't say there wasn't a case for anybody else per se. I just think it's not like outside of Javon and Rey, it's not a terribly strong field.
It's not, which is why I'm going to now try and make the case for everybody here. Look, it's a fucking podcast, man. We got to fill some time.
Good luck with this.
Javon Evans, hot
You can
name,
make the case for Javon. Yeah, he's great.
New guy. They got, they think the big things for this guy, right?
Yeah, he's going to do huge things, without a doubt.
It'd be great. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if Oba, Trick, and Javon all came out of this with wins?
That'd be outstanding.
I mean, what a great statement to make, right?
It'd be awesome. And if that happened, I'd love it.
Dragon Lee. Let's make the case for Dragon Lee.
He does it to honor AJ Styles. He hits the Styles Clash off the ladder or something like that.
Whoa, that'd be cool.
And then...
this guy has suffered so much humiliation.
Yeah.
His entire, the last 3 months for Dragon Lee, whether it was being unmasked by Gunther in front of the world, or being a sidekick to pretty much everybody that he hangs out with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now is his time to prove that Dragon Lee is Ichiban. I don't know. JD McDonough, he's in Judgment Day. He comes away with his title. Dom's like, what the fuck? You've got my title now. And then there you got some Judgment Day drama. Maybe Dom doesn't beat Demon. He doesn't have the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know what's going on with the Mega Championship, if he's still feuding with the King or whatever. And he's like, Liv gets a title. He's like, God damn, everybody's up except for Dom. There's some drama right there.
Yeah.
Plus, JD is a really good wrestler, and I feel like
He
at
is.
some point they're going to start recognizing him a bit more. Rusev doled out Machka kick after Machka kick after Machka kick. He won his qualifier to get into this match. He's like,
think he did.
Man, if Paul, if you don't start treating me better, I'm going to go back to AEW.
Well, I mean, he's under a contract for several years, so it probably isn't that easy.
I'm going to sit out like I did at AEW. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I my head says Penta, but I think Rey is such a terrific story if he wins this.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to talk about the rest of these matches, but we do have a sponsor for the show today, so let's go ahead and talk about them.
Let's do it. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. If you live here in the U.S. like we do, Netflix, WB on Netflix is pretty neat. You get the Monday Night Raws, you get the pay-per-view archives, and quite a bit more.
Speaking of quite a bit more, it could be so much more. Outside of the U.S., Netflix has all things WWE, but here in the States, WWE makes us run a veritable gauntlet of services to watch all their programming.
That's true, Steve, but with Surfshark VPN, I can change my virtual location to Canada and watch all of WWE's content. I'm talking Raw on Mondays, SmackDown on Fridays, all the premium live events, including this weekend's WrestleMania, on Canadian Netflix, all live and all commercial-free. And since one Surfshark account can be used on an unlimited number of devices, I'll be watching WrestleMania right here, sitting in front of my computer. If I wanted to, maybe I could watch it on my laptop as well, or I could watch it also on my phone, or I could say, hey, to my wife, can I borrow your laptop and watch WrestleMania on there as well? And hey, maybe I'll say, can I borrow your phone and watch WrestleMania on there as well?
Borrow your phone? Why would you borrow her phone when you have all those other devices to watch WrestleMania on?
Just think I could have like 10 screens all with WrestleMania simultaneously.
Not only that, but Surfshark helps protect your online privacy. You can get alerts if your personal online data, like your email or credit card info, gets leaked online. Surfshark also offers antivirus protection that secures everything from your files to your webcam and gives you an immediate notification if it detects a malicious app or file.
And it's all backed by Surfshark's risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. Right now, Going In Raw listeners can secure their privacy and get 4 extra months of Surfshark by going to surfshark.com/raw or using code RAW at checkout.
Again, go to surfshark.com/raw or use code RAW at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Check out our show description for URL and promo code, and thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring Going In Raw. All right, man, let's continue these predictions here. Next up, we've got, the Demon Balor versus Dom Mysterio. Dom's going to see the demon coming, Larson, because it's no surprise.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on this match?
The last 2 matches that I recall that Demon Balor participated in were L's, if memory serves.
Yeah.
He lost to Edge in a Hell in a Cell match at Mania a couple years back. And then, of course, losing to Roman after the top turnbuckle just collapsed on him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they announced Demon Balor in advance because they think people really want to see it. Might buy a ticket to see Demon Balor. If you want to reestablish Demon Balor as something of consequence, then Demon Balor needs to win this. Because again, if it's the Demon Balor is going to be a thing, and yet Demon Balor just leads to pin equals pin, what's really the difference with Demon Balor then? So I'm saying Balor up. I got 4 confidence points on this. Demon Balor gets the win. Maybe they have a rematch down the line. Dom wins that one against regular Balor. But Demon Balor's Mania leads me to believe Finn's getting the win here.
I hope you're right. I really do. I love Dom, though. I think Dom is great. Yeah, I don't know. I've got low confidence points on this. I might, like in the end, when I'm doing the actual form, I'm going to try to go even lower. Because I've got Dom with 3. Just because, you know, I think that they're more interested in making Dom a thing right now than they are in making Balor a thing. Like, Balor will be fun. Balor gets nothing from a win, and he gets nothing from a loss, no harm from a loss. Whereas if Dom beats Demon Balor, that's a big fucking deal for Dom. Like, he kind of needs a win right now. I know he's the mega champion. I don't watch AAA. I don't really know what's going on necessarily, but I know he's still mega champion because he still wears the title. But like, the only person that gets anything out of this, like, Dom doesn't really suffer if he loses this match.
No, he's losing Demon Balor.
But Balor doesn't lose much if he loses this match. He doesn't win much if he wins this match.
Well, here's the thing. Finn Balor doesn't lose much if he loses. Demon Balor, done.
Demon Balor
retire Demon Balor.
He should be retired. They should retire it. It's goofy.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's entirely possible that you do Balor versus Dom and they're like, well, we need for whatever story we're going to tell Dom to lose, but he can't just lose to some normal dude like Finn Balor. So he's going to lose to Demon Balor. I think, dude,
yeah.
I like your pick. I like the pick of Balor, but I just feel like Dom gets so much out of this.
You know, the loophole they could use, they mentioned it on Raw on Monday, is Dom says, I signed a contract to face Finn Balor, not the Demon. Mm-hmm. You made me face the Demon. I want my match against Finn.
Yeah.
Demon gets the win at Mania. They do the rematch at Backlash. Dom wins there.
Imagine if he brought that up and Pierce just said, it's the same guy, but he's got face paint on.
Yeah.
That Dom just sulks away.
Yeah, I know.
No rematch for you, idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I got Dom 3. I'm really going to think about this one, though, because, you know, I'll have to look at some AAA stuff, see what they do with him there, see what Taker does.
They have not given us a lot of WTV to go off of with this feud.
They haven't. They really haven't. Yeah.
Like we saw, what, 3 seconds of Finn Balor on Raw last night?
It would be so funny if he uses the fucking ring bell hammer in his boot against Demon Balor, you know? You know what he should do? He, like, you know, before the match, he, like, rigs the top turnbuckle to fall apart. Yeah. So that happens again. He's like, oh, I know Demon Balor's Achilles heel.
Yeah.
It's that top turnbuckle that he likes to do the coup de grace on. Dom keeps on laying down in position for the coup de grace.
Like, come on. Come on, do it.
Get up there.
You know, it'd be interesting if Dom tries the ring hammer bit and Demon Balor no-sells it.
Oh, yeah, he could do that.
Yeah. Next up here for the United States Championship, you got the champion Sami Zayn taking on Trick Williams. Who do you got, Steve?
I got Sami Zayn. I think they're just starting with this whole heel. I think the only thing that works, and I probably because I'm more confident in the other stuff. But like, this could be my 6 confident point match. It really could be. Sami has just changed characters. He was a good guy, and he learned that being a bad guy pays off. The only way that story continues to make sense is if bad guy continues to pay off and he wins at WrestleMania. It's the only thing that makes sense. They're not fully on the double turn. I mean, I know the fans are big into Trick, but they're going to build us. Hey, this is Trick's first WrestleMania, but Sami, especially now as a bad guy, he's a savvy bad guy. He knows how to win. He is, as he says, a former WrestleMania main eventer. So yeah, Sami retains, keeps that US title, and he becomes even shittier as a bad guy. You can see this story play out.
I got Sami with 1 right now because I do envision a scenario like that happening, where again, an opportunity presents itself. Sami takes advantage, retains. And if they do the double turn, it makes all the sense for Sami to win. If he really starts healing it up during the course of this match. But I got to keep the thought in mind that Trick is super popular. Maybe they do a situation where Javon, Trick, Oba all come out the winning end of things in their respective matches. And, you know, in theory, if Sami turns full on heel in this match, they do the double turn, it should lead to Sami winning. But Trick is super popular. He's even more popular as a babyface. So I can't dispel the notion entirely that Sami is a lock to win this. So I only got Sami with 1. Depending what happens on SmackDown, obviously he will change the confidence point value. But yeah.
Here's the other thing about, because you're right, Trick is super popular. And the chase will make him even more popular. You know, when somebody gets screwed, people love that. It makes them want to root for them even more. It's a tried and true thing. So I think it's probably even more likely that because of Trick's popularity as a babyface that he's
I can
getting.
envision the most likely scenario is Sami cheats the win or bends the rules or takes advantage of opportunities.
Oh my God.
A shitty
People
way
would
to
be
win.
huge into him. Yeah.
And then heat on Sami, crowd more behind Trick. Trick's on the chase. He gets the title. Yeah. Totally envision that. Or they could just do it all during the course of this one match. Next up here, we got Jade Cargill defending the WWE Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley. I got Rhea winning this one with 3 confidence points right now. So if there is, let's assume for a second that Nikki is cleared, but since it happened so late, they don't announce Asuka versus Io. They don't book it officially for night 2 here. So you have Asuka, Io, and Kyrie off the card. And so I would assume Jade's going to have B-Fab and Beechin. So you can have a scenario here with potentially 5 people in the ringside area who are not participating directly in this match getting involved in it.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in that scenario. So feel like Rhea's going to win because Rhea with title heading into Mania next year, Io wins the Rumble. They main event a night of WrestleMania next year because the story's there if they build it right. They're over enough. They're hugely popular.
Yeah.
It should main event.
Yeah.
I think that's the likely direction they're heading. But, you know, given that there could be a lot of people in the ringside area for this match to get involved, they might want to put Jade over huge here and have Rhea pick up the title somewhere down the line. Another name that could make a return in some capacity is Bianca. If Bianca is going to be cleared soon, they might want to have her and Jade for the title as well. So I got to keep all that stuff in mind when making the pick. But right now I'm landing on Rhea, 3 confidence points.
I think the Bianca point is a very good one. I've got Rhea with 5 right now. The Bianca point is a very good one because she will be coming back most likely right after. I could see her come back at the SmackDown after WrestleMania. You know, Jade uh, you know, all full of, bluster and whatnot. And then Bianca comes back to sort of put So yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm just going by what they have done with Jade Cargill, which is kind of a lot of nothing, not very many title defenses, not very many matches since she won it off Tiffany Stratton. The Bianca thing is a very good point. So I'd have to reconsider that after this, but then they might see Bianca coming back as an opportunity for more Bianca versus Rhea instead. Rhea, the other thing that like really leans me towards Rhea is the EO thing that you mentioned as well. It's like Rhea's got to beat EO at some point. And hey, maybe that doesn't need a title because there's so much history to it. And maybe, maybe EO coming out to try to help even the odds ends up costing Rhea the match, and then that leads to them beefing, and you get a really good feud, and Rhea gets her win over EO. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. I've got Rhea with 5 right now, just because she's a big deal. They probably are done with her being a tag wrestler, and so they just want to put a title back on her and line up the heels for her. But I might end up going down a little bit further, like where you're at right now.
All right, let's talk the main event. Bill Brooks, CM Punk, taking on Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Go ahead, Steve. Wow, you got a lot of confidence points on Phil getting the win here.
Right now, I've got all my confidence on Phil Brooks because he's the guy. He's the guy right now. And CM Punk beating Roman Reigns in the Night 2 WrestleMania main event sort of checks off, I think, everything that CM Punk probably has wanted. And they want to keep him happy right now. And more importantly, Roman Reigns is not going to be around. He's just not there. Although I did see something recently that said he's not looking to retire anytime soon. And so there's a lot of speculation about that on social media. But I just don't think Roman's going to be around, man. I just think that he's like super part-timer. He prides himself on being a part-time family guy. And, Punk is the champion who's there all the time. Especially if Randy Orton does win, then you've got a bad guy champion on one brand. You got a good guy champion on a different brand. I think it'd be really intriguing if they had a double turn here or a turn of some sort where CM Punk goes heel because he's got to be heel to beat Roman Reigns. I think Punk wins here. I've got all the confidence points because I just don't think Roman Reigns is going to be around. And I know that necessarily didn't matter back in the day, but even back in the day, he was around a lot more than he is now. And back then, he had the entire Bloodline faction to make up for his lack of presence. So, I got Punk up with 6.
When there was that 2-week period where the Usos were heavily involved, I was hoping they would really follow through on all that because that provided an interesting wrinkle in terms of what could happen. And we talked about it at length then, where one of Roman's contentions with Punk is that Punk is a massive hypocrite. Says one thing, does something else. And if it's a situation where Punk continually got on Roman, you can't do this by yourself. You've been handed everything. You can't win this by yourself. You need your family's help to win. And whether it's inadvertent or not, Punk wins thanks to the Usos. That's interesting. There's good stuff there. And granted, they haven't really touched on that in weeks.
Yeah.
Could they bring it back and use that here? Maybe, because again, to open the Raw this week, Roman pointed out, Punk, you're a hypocrite. But if I in my mind, if I go through all the scenarios, overbooked, not, more often than not, it leads to a Punk win. If the Usos interject themselves, it's probably not to help Roman win, although I guess WWE might think, all right, we'll do a bloodline reunion because it worked before. We need to kind of generate interest, get numbers up to how they were prime bloodline era. Let's just put them back together. Although it would feel like a nostalgia tour. But otherwise, if the Usos interject themselves, Punk up. Given how Punk's kind of acted of late, maybe it's a situation where even he enlists the Usos' help. He really gets on them. Again, we haven't seen it, about how Roman's never really apologized to you for the bloodline stuff. You know, and as you mentioned in our night one predictions, Jay still walks around angry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he might be jealous of Roman getting this spot that he thinks he should be getting. Like, there's a lot of motivation for Jay to cost Roman this match potentially. Problem is, they haven't addressed any of it in a while.
Yeah.
And even when they did, it was fairly briefly. So I can't put a whole lot of stock in that. Nonetheless, basically every scenario, not every, more often than not, scenarios that run my mind, at least to a Punk win. So I got Punk with 2 for right now.
There you go.
And then if Roman's not going to be around, didn't stop him in the past from being champion. But,
True.
you know, I don't know if they want Roman as champion showing up for SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, and Mania next year. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But his schedule before, you know, at certain points in the Bloodline saga wasn't too dissimilar from that anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He'd be on TV 2 or 3 weeks before, and if they think, well, if we get the Bloodline back together, then we can try to recapture that magic and have Jimmy and Jay be Roman's proxies when he's not there.
Mm-hmm. The other wrinkle, and I don't really think it's too much of a wrinkle, but it's being widely reported that Reigns' contract is up with this WrestleMania. I'm sure he's going to re-sign.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he's going to go to AEW,
No.
but he might take some time off. You know,
Entirely
he might
possible.
do the thing where he's like, you know what, I'm going to give a real go for Hollywood. And then, you know, we'll see after that. I don't suspect that's going to be the case. And like I said, I think it's like not a very significant wrinkle, but if they're trying to plan ahead and they don't have him locked down, then I could see them being like, hey, you know what? We've got some stories, you know, lined up for Backlash, the next one that involves CM Punk. So just from the behind the scenes aspect, I sort of see Punk just making a lot more sense than Roman here.
Mm-hmm.
But and on top of that, one of the lines that Roman delivered in that promo was, I've been gone and you haven't been able to get it done. And I feel like Roman winning would be validating of that. And I feel like that's just validating bad creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they don't want to do that. I think that they want to, you know, say, no, Punk is legit. Punk is the real deal. And the only way to really do that is for him to beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Now, could they do that at SummerSlam? Sure. I guess they could. But I feel like that's got to be at WrestleMania. And again, you know, CM Punk, they probably want to keep him happy because he is around a lot. I mean, dude, for his age, for being as around as he is, that's pretty impressive, you know.
It is. We got some Friendo predictions here for night 2. First one here from Isaiah TV says Pat McAfee will ruin both nights of WrestleMania. He'll cost Cody the WWE title and then come back the next night to cost Punk the world title.
That's right.
But here's something else to consider. This actually did cross my mind.
Okay, yeah.
JS says Roman, Randy, and Pat will work together as part of a new authority-like faction. Crowd goes wild.
Oh, man.
Because Roman did mention Pat.
He did, yeah. He said, yeah.
Because I like Pat.
Yeah.
So I never let a punter talk to me like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, and if Pat's thesis is we need to bring back the Attitude Era, you know, like I assume it wasn't just in terms of a bunch of huge jacked wrestlers exclusively, although he did mention that. But I think in terms of whatever creative energy, whatever you want to say. But if you're talking huge jacked wrestlers, Roman fits that bill. Pat talked a lot of shit about Punk,
dude,
not being a huge jacked wrestler.
Let me ask you this. I love this. What would be the crowd reaction and the internet reaction if at the end of WrestleMania Night 2, Roman's holding the title, Randy comes out, he's holding the title, Pat McAfee's there, and Rock is there with him? Boy, our views would be out at the fucking, they'd be through the roof.
I mean,
that would generate so much conversation.
It would. I mean, some people be excited because The Rock's involved.
It's a hell of an image.
Because Roman and Randy got the titles, you know? I don't know how many people will be excited because Pat's involved in it, but...
Well, he'd be sort of secondary. If something like this happened, where you have this new, you know, TKO-backed faction with Roman, Randy, Pat, and The Rock... And, you know, I would doubt this because nobody can show up to TV. Nobody would be there, dude.
Yeah.
But that being the lasting image of WrestleMania 42, I don't know what people would say about that, but I think a lot of people would be talking about that. And maybe it would be in a positive way, like, oh, where is this going to go? What is this going to lead to? Because then you got Cody and Punk on the same page, teaming up, trying to take these guys down. I don't know. I could kind of maybe see that as a story that they might want to tell. But then you're running into the Rock issues, and then Rock just wants to do what Rock wants to do, and he's going to try to get that title on him. So yeah, I don't know, but hey, that's a really fascinating idea,
Yeah.
If they want to go big, they can try to go big with it.
I guess so. I mean, at this juncture, they might think this is the only way to kind of salvage Pat's involvement in any of this. Is if him just there being Randy's hype dude is not getting it done. All right, go all in on it. Do this faction with Roman, Randy, Pat, maybe Dwayne, and just try to blow people's minds in terms of the audacity of doing it,
I mean, dude, think about it. Randy's on the phone with Pat, apparently.
Maybe it was one of those calls where you can get you can get a bunch of people on.
One of those calls. Like, that hasn't been around for 30 years.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember what they're called now.
They have like a bunch of different names for them. You could do like FaceTime. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
Well, the Randy had the phone to his ear, so I don't know anybody who FaceTimes like this.
Well, my sister does FaceTime audio sometimes. Because she's like international. But don't make me lose my train of thought here. He delivers that line to Cody. There's more than one royal family. What if you have more than one royal family in the same faction? You got Dwayne and Roman and Randy. They're all in the same faction. New Legacy Inc.
There you go.
Oh wait, that's already a thing.
That's already a thing.
The funniest thing, that this is such a tangent, but whatever, it's a podcast. Is when just the sheer number of people in our comments saying should be Ted DiBiase Jr. And I'm like, no, it shouldn't be. No, that's like people in the crowd would be like, who?
I know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Someone who was in a faction with Randy 15 years ago. They don't care.
They would not give a single shit. That would be so underwhelming if it's Ted Jr. Care. Sorry. I know he got, acquitted and everything. That's great for him, but
no. Just a no.
Or found not guilty, whatever it was.
Dragon Knight here says CM Punk turns heel and joins Team TKO and officially becomes corporate man Punk.
I mean, I think out of desperation, I could maybe see CM Punk turning heel, and healing it up to beat Roman Reigns. I could maybe see that.
But with him becoming corporate Punk, would that be kind of akin to Austin turning heel at WrestleMania 17?
Would Ari Emanuel come out and he shakes his hand, and people are like, who?
Yeah, there's not that defining image. We've seen Triple H do the point picture with CM Punk backstage on Twitter. So, and like the idea, like there's this nebulous thing with Pat where, obviously he's protected from above on TV by TKO, but there's not a personification of TKO on TV.
I think that would have to be The Rock.
It would have to be Dwayne.
It'd have to be Dwayne.
That was a situation where Dwayne helps Punk beat Roman, to eventually lead to Roman Rock at Mania next year, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, you got to figure if Rock is ever going to wrestle again, it will be at Mania next year because it's Saudi, and that's going to be it. And that's going to be it. But even that is kind of a stretch. I feel like 40 was probably the last we'd see him.
That was kind of the best chance I think we had to get in that match.
Yeah.
True World Order says The Rock appears at the end of night 2. Again, as I said in yesterday's video, my default position is we're not seeing The Rock in 2026.
I mean, hey, I know that was my prediction too, but maybe there's some symmetry / irony in the fact that Roman insists on calling CM Punk Phil. And the only guy that CM Punk does that to is The Rock because he calls him Dwayne all the time.
Could be.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I'm not getting my hopes up. And even if he does, The Rock show up at the end of night 2, how many times have we seen, like this the last couple of years, The Rock show up for something that leads to nothing?
I know. That's the problem. That's the big problem, dude, is that he'd show up and then it would just they'd do nothing with it.
Exactly. hey, we need to pop something. We need to get rumblings out. The Rock's going to be there to get some last minute ticket sales.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude, is that so much of it seems to be reactive to the business.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like telling awesome stories. But, you know, I'd be hyped if they did something bigger than just match happens. You know, Punk wins, even if the Uso show. But like, it'd be great if they did something big with it, you know?
Yeah, something that feels massive that launches them into the summer and generates some measure of interest in 2026.
Yeah.
Some guy here says Oba Femi beats Brock in under 5 minutes.
I would be so excited. Like it's going to be Brock up.
I don't think the match is going to be long regardless who wins.
Brock big man matches typically aren't that long, I don't think.
No, they're not.
He took on Braun one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
Was that the one where he got rocked?
No, that was like a multi-man match.
That was a multi, right?
Yeah. I think Brock and Braun had a one-on-one match. Maybe I'm wrong.
Looks like they might have done 2 of them. Oh, here we go. Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. This had 2.25 stars.
Where was that one at?
Did they only do 3? Overview. Oh, here we go. This was at No Mercy 2017.
All right.
Oh, did they get any other matches? No, they had a triple threat and then they had the multi-man. It was the one with Samoa Joe in it.
Yeah.
Boy, that got 4.75 stars.
But the one at SummerSlam?
On Wrestling Observer. That was at SummerSlam. Yeah,
that was a good match.
Yeah, that was a good match. Yeah.
Yeah, most of Brock's matches are relatively short, but this one's gonna be under 10 minutes for sure.
It doesn't have an amount of time here. It's not a well-regarded match.
Oh, which one was it? No Mercy 2017?
No Mercy 2017.
Right, give me a second.
Yeah.
That was
9 minutes. 9 minutes.
9 minutes. Also on that card, Enzo Amore defeats Neville for the Cruiserweight title. That gave us sad Neville.
They gave us sad Neville. It did, yeah.
Roman and John Cena. Alexa retains the Raw Women's title.
The Shield beat Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah. Ben versus Bray. Miz versus Jason Jordan for the Intercontinental title.
Wow.
Were we at this one? Were we there for this one? 2017?
This was at LA. Staples Center in LA. Yeah, didn't we go there?
Yeah, we did that. That was when we did the thing with Brian Zayn.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Funny, we were there for the show. I don't remember anything. The only thing I remember about this is the one where Cesaro got his teeth knocked up.
Oh, yo, that sucked.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
That I remember.
Gee whiz.
Next here from JT Roberts says Sami Zayn turns heel and wins dirty against Trick, making Trick one of the top 2 most beloved baby faces in the company.
Yeah, I think if they're going to do this, they're going to go all the way with it, and it's going to make Trick look great, and then people are going to want to see him on the chase. That's how I feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah. Slimo here says Io, Asuka, and Kyrie are relegated to run-ins during Jade versus Rhea. Bianca returns to even the odds for Rhea and Io.
Just hoping, dude, this Friday, come on, let's just announce the damn match. There's still only 6 on the card.
I know.
So let's get that match on there. Io versus Asuka. Let's just do it.
I want it too. Yeah. Instead, they're going to give Phil and Roman an extra 15 minutes.
I don't need it. They shouldn't. They should not do that.
Probably already allocated a half hour.
Yeah, probably.
And then Callum Kelly is in agreement with you, Steve. Dom pins the Demon.
Yeah.
Just retiring the Demon.
I wouldn't be mad about it. I wouldn't be mad. You know, I like Balor to do something with the theatrics idea, but it doesn't need to be the Demon. You know,
initially it necessarily wasn't. He would just come out with
just cool
like
shit.
He did the Joker thing one time.
Yeah, he just had cool shit.
It was in WWE. They just kind of said, all right, you're going to do the Demon thing, and it's got to be spooky and supernatural.
That is still one of the biggest, weirdest things, that he had this amazing character in New Japan, and they wanted nothing to, they were just like, oh, he's a really good looking, cool guy.
They wanted like the exact opposite.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
It is.
He could have been running roughshod all over NXT, building his own Bullet Club type faction, being crazy guy, chopping people in restaurants.
Yeah.
Sick.
There was great stuff he did in New Japan. It was great.
Yeah.
And imagine, because that would have happened in parallel to AJ and later on Kenny's run as leaders of Bullet Club. So
yeah,
you know, you could have had Balor leading his own Balor Club, whatever you call it, in NXT.
Yeah,
a rival Bullet Club,
Knife Club. Anyways,
sure.
So let us know what you guys think. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win at WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. Till next time. We'll see you guys around.
Bye.